Ever wondered how ready you are for a sudden blackout? The reality is, blackouts are becoming an increasingly common occurrence. We're not just talking about a momentary flicker of the lights, but extended periods without power. Factors like climate change with its extreme weather events, aging power grids struggling to keep up with demand, and cyber threats targeting our infrastructure all contribute to this reality. When the power goes out, it's not just about sitting in the dark. It can mean disruptions to communication systems, making it challenging to reach out to loved ones or emergency services. Transportation can grind to a halt as traffic lights fail. Even basic services like water supply and sewage treatment can be affected. The question isn't if a blackout will happen, but when, and when it does, it could last hours, days, or even weeks. So, are you prepared for the next blackout? Let's find out. Knowing the enemy is half the battle won. So what types of blackouts could you encounter? Let's dive right into it. Blackouts can be categorized into three main types: short-term, extended, and regional. Short-term blackouts are the most common. They can last from a few seconds to several hours and are typically caused by minor power grid failures or local technical issues. These are the kind of blackouts you might experience during a severe storm when a tree branch knocks down a power line. Extended blackouts, on the other hand, last much longer, from several hours to even weeks. These are usually the result of substantial failures in the power grid infrastructure, often caused by major natural disasters like hurricanes, earthquakes, or severe floods. They can also be caused by significant technical issues in the power grid, such as a transformer failure. Finally, we have regional blackouts. These are the most severe and can affect entire cities, states, or even countries. They can last for weeks or even months. The causes of regional blackouts are typically more complex and can include large-scale natural disasters, substantial grid failures, or even cyber attacks on the power infrastructure. Each type of blackout presents its own unique challenges. For example, a short-term blackout might be a minor inconvenience, while an extended or regional blackout could disrupt your life significantly, affecting everything from communication and transportation to water supply and emergency services. It's also worth noting that our modern infrastructure is increasingly vulnerable to blackouts. As we've seen in recent years, even highly developed countries are not immune to large-scale power failures. This is due to a variety of factors, including an aging power grid, increasing demand for electricity, and the growing threat of cyber attacks. So, being aware of these types of blackouts and their causes is the first step in preparing for them. Remember, preparation is not about fear, it's about empowerment. The more you understand about blackouts, the better equipped you'll be to handle them when they occur. Understanding these causes can help you prepare more effectively. But what are the essential preparations you need to survive a blackout? Stay tuned to find out. Imagine a blackout hits your area. What are the first things you need? The answer to that question is twofold: a reliable power backup solution and a well-stocked supply of essentials. We all know how crippling a power outage can be, affecting everything from our heating and cooling systems to our refrigeration and communication devices. Hence, having a power backup solution is not just a good idea, it's a necessity. So what are our options? There are traditional generators, which are perfect for temporary power outages. They can power up your entire home, but they do require fuel, which may be in short supply during a blackout. Then we have solar power systems. These are great for long-term outages, especially in areas with ample sunlight. The best part? They run on a renewable resource, the sun. Finally, there are battery backups. These systems store power when it's available and provide it when it's not. They can keep essential devices like your refrigerator, medical equipment, or communication devices running when the power grid fails. Now, let's talk about the other half of the equation, your supplies. During a blackout, grocery stores and water supply systems may be out of commission, so you need to have a stockpile of non-perishable foods and water. Think canned goods, dried foods, and ready-to-eat meals. These will keep you nourished when cooking becomes a challenge. And don't forget about water. A person needs about a gallon per day, so plan accordingly. But food and water are not the only essentials. You need first aid supplies to handle any injuries, hygiene products to maintain cleanliness, and tools to assist with any necessary repairs or tasks. In essence, a well-thought-out preparation plan can be your lifeline during a blackout. It takes into account power backup solutions and a stockpile of essential supplies to keep you safe, fed, and in control. Having these essentials in place can make a huge difference. But how do you maintain comfort and safety at home during a blackout? We'll discuss this in our next segment, so stay tuned. A blackout doesn't mean you have to live in the dark and cold. So how do you keep the lights on and stay warm? Well, the key is to think outside the box, or rather outside the power grid. For instance, oil lamps and LED lights are excellent alternatives to traditional light sources. Oil lamps, once a staple in many homes, are making a comeback. These lamps give off a warm, steady light, and with proper care they can burn for hours. On the other hand, LED lights are energy efficient and long-lasting. They can be powered by batteries or solar power, and some models even come with hand cranks for manual charging. Now, how about keeping warm? When the power goes out, so does your heating system. But don't worry, there are alternative heating methods you can rely on. Portable propane heaters are one option. They're safe to use indoors, provided the area is well ventilated. Wood-burning stoves and fireplaces can also provide heat, not to mention a cozy atmosphere. Just ensure you have a good stock of firewood and keep those chimneys clean. But what about food and water? Preserving food and ensuring a clean water supply can be challenging without power. One technique is canning. Canning allows you to store fruits, vegetables, and meats without refrigeration. Dehydrating is another method. By removing the water from food, you prevent the growth of bacteria, prolonging its shelf life. And let's not forget about water. Clean water is essential for survival. Water purification tablets are a prepper's best friend. They're lightweight, easy to use, and can make questionable water safe to drink. Remember, these are just some of the ways to maintain comfort and safety during a blackout. You can mix and match these methods to suit your specific needs and circumstances. Staying comfortable and safe at home is crucial. But what about communication and navigation during a blackout? Stay tuned as we delve into these topics in our next segment. In a blackout, information is power. But how do you stay informed and navigate without power? This is where having a plan and the right tools come into play. Imagine being plunged into darkness. Power lines are down, and there's no telling when they'll be up and running again. It's a scenario that requires preparedness, especially when it comes to communication and navigation. Communication, in the context of a blackout, goes beyond the simple act of talking. It's about staying informed, knowing what's happening around you, and understanding the extent of the power outage. It's about ensuring that you're connected to the outside world, even when the power lines are down. This is where battery-operated radios come in handy. These devices can keep you updated on blackout updates and emergency information, even when your television and internet are down. Backup communication devices, like walkie-talkies, can also be invaluable, particularly if you're part of a group or community. These devices can keep you connected to each other, allowing you to share information and offer assistance when needed. But what about navigation? In a world that's so reliant on electronic aids, how do you find your way without power? It may seem daunting at first, but with the right tools and a bit of knowledge, it's more than possible. Maps and compasses are your best friends in a situation like this. They don't rely on electricity and can help you navigate even the most unfamiliar terrains. It's also a good idea to familiarize yourself with your surroundings before a blackout hits. Know your community, your neighborhood, the local landmarks. This knowledge can be a lifesaver when you're trying to find your way in the dark. Staying informed and being able to navigate are not just about convenience, they're about survival, about ensuring that you have the knowledge and the tools to make it through a blackout. Staying informed and being able to navigate can save lives, but how do you ensure security and personal safety during a blackout? A blackout can make your home vulnerable, but how do you enhance your home's security and ensure personal safety? Firstly, fortify your home's perimeter. Reinforce doors and windows and consider additional locks or security bars. Remember, a well-secured home can deter potential intruders. Next, prepare for potential intrusions. A security system that operates independently of the power grid can be invaluable. Think of devices such as battery-operated alarms or motion sensor lights. Now let's talk about personal safety. During a blackout, familiarize yourself with your surroundings. Keep a flashlight handy to avoid tripping or bumping into things. Fire safety is also crucial. Ensure any alternative heating or lighting methods used are safe and controlled. Always have a fire extinguisher within reach. Lastly, a well-stocked first aid kit is essential. It should include bandages, antiseptic wipes, and any necessary medication. Security and personal safety are paramount, but how do you prepare for long-term resilience? Surviving a blackout is one thing, but how do you build long-term resilience for future blackouts? Let's delve into that. It's essential to maintain a preparedness mindset. This means constantly evaluating your readiness and making necessary adjustments. Like any other skill, preparedness improves with practice and experience. Make it a habit to review your emergency plans, update your stockpile, and run through blackout drills. Your stockpile is your lifeline during a blackout. Regularly updating it ensures you're equipped with fresh supplies and that you're ready to face any situation. Think beyond food and water. Include items like medication, hygiene products, batteries, and tools. Rotate your stockpile to keep items fresh and discard those past their expiration date. Practicing blackout drills plays a crucial role too. It's one thing to have a theoretical plan, but putting it into practice can reveal potential gaps and areas for improvement. Test out your power backup systems, cook a meal with your stockpiled food, or spend a weekend living off your emergency supplies. This gives you a realistic picture of what surviving a blackout entails. But preparedness isn't solely about individual efforts, it's also about fostering community support. In times of crisis, communities that stick together fare better. Collaborate with your neighbors and local community members. Share your knowledge about blackout preparedness and learn from their experiences too. Consider forming a community preparedness group. This can be a platform for sharing resources, skills, and information. Pooling resources can enable access to more robust power backup solutions or bulk purchasing of supplies. Mutual aid can also extend to sharing skills like first aid, cooking, or mechanical repairs. Remember, during a blackout, your community is your closest ally. A well-prepared community can provide physical assistance, emotional support, and a shared sense of resilience in the face of adversity. Building resilience and fostering community support can help you weather any blackout with confidence. Remember, preparedness is not a one-time act, it's a lifestyle. And that's the key to surviving not just the next blackout, but any crisis that life may throw your way.